Welcome to the first episode of Celluloid and Scotch. Salut.
Oh, salute.
I am drinking a Glenlivet 12. First time drinking that. I gotta say, it's got a little bite, but it's also smooth also.
Nice. I almost picked up the same bottle, but I figured I'd do a different Glen. Doing the Glenfiddich.
Ooh.
14.
Is that the smoky one?
It doesn't taste smoky to me. I mean, there might be a little bit of smoke.
So far, I'm kind of liking this. It was a gift from a friend, so I'm hitting that. So Carlito and I talked about doing this show months ago after we did a show on Tenet. So we decided what better way than March had an HBO Max drop like no other with the 4-hour Justice League Snyder Cut and Godzilla. So here we are. This is going to be a monthly show. We're going to try and have different scotches every week. And what better way to talk about Justice League and what a shit show that whole behind the scenes thing was than getting a little bit of a buzz and talking about Justice League. Tell a little bit about yourself, Carlito.
I like movies and comics and whiskey.
Favorite genre?
For whiskey
Movies.
or
Movies.
movie? That's a tough one. It's funny because I usually rank my favorite movies by genre.
I do that too sometimes.
I guess I'd have to say, just right off the top of my head, right now, probably sci-fi, fantasy.
I've made no secret about it. Horror is my number one genre. One question though: The Thing and Aliens. Do you consider them sci-fi or horror?
Well, I still haven't seen The Thing yet, which it's on my watch list. I keep kicking myself.
Where is John's Comics with Kids? Where is he on this? Oh, he's
right
here.
He is here. Okay.
Hello, John. Glad you could be here. Now we have something to pick on Carlito about because he's never seen John Carpenter's The Thing, and I'm ready to quit the show.
So I was gonna watch it a couple weeks ago too. I should have done it.
If you're gonna buy it, Shout Factory, their Blu-ray is $10 right now on Amazon. They're having a sale.
Nice.
Yep. Here comes the John.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, he's still considering this punishment for not having us on for their Zack Snyder's Justice League show. Which, John, you're always welcome to jump on with us if you want to. Tonight, the future, whichever. So Zack Snyder's Justice League. What are your thoughts on Zack Snyder as a director?
Well, overall as a director, he's kind of meh for me. Like there's some stuff that I really love that he's done, like Watchmen, Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman. But then there's, and I know I'm going to get crap for this, 300, which I absolutely loathe. And
I didn't love it. I love Dawn of the Dead with him and James Gunn.
I haven't seen that yet. I need to see that too.
It was very good. Sucker Punch is one of my all-time most hated movies. It's the one with the girls, like Oscar Isaac's in it, and they go into this dream world. It opens, it mids, and ends with rape. Emily Browning's in it. Like, I hated that movie. Beautiful movie to watch, but oh boy, it's cringy. Zack Snyder's one of those guys. I can watch his movies and I'll find stuff in it I like, but I kind of put him in that same category as Rob Zombie, where I think they're talented, but I think they're overindulgent.
Yes. Yeah, that I'll probably catch flack from you on this one, but I've only liked one of Rob Zombie's movies. I did not really care for the rest too much.
Devil's Rejects, the only one.
Like, yeah, and like, I don't know. It was fun going to the theater with my friends and seeing them, but other than that, I really can't think of
I think there's talent there. Like, he can shoot a scene well, but they need to have like a writer come in, like a no man going, hey, like, no, bro,
Right.
like, don't do this. I think everybody should have a no man in Hollywood. Just one person who will tell them no. So, like, again, Zack Snyder, I think he's talented. I think just he's overindulgent in certain things, and I think he dives too much into the tech. He's too in love with it to a certain degree, like all these like slow motion shots and digital graphics and scenes. It kind of takes you out of the movie.
I'd agree with that.
Man of Steel, I liked. There's issues there. There's 100% issues, and Kevin Costner is one of my issues with it when I watched it. Just the way they decided to write him as Pa Kent. Save the dog, fuck me. Like, nah, it's okay. Like, it bothered me.
Yeah, it bothered a lot of people. I think it bothered me too at first, but then after other viewings, like, I kind of just let it go a little bit. But yeah, I'd still say that's kind of a at least minor sticking point for me.
Yeah. It's like I could have watched Russell Crowe on Krypton, an entire movie with him flying around the dragons.
That was unbelievable. I was just talking to someone the other day about that. Like, that first half hour on Krypton is just a lot. I didn't expect that when I first saw it, so it's pretty awesome.
No, like, I watched it. I was like, I could watch a whole movie of this. And I got into that weird thing I got with Ridley Scott's Prometheus, where I was like, I could watch an hour more, or I could use an hour less of this movie. I can't decide what I needed. So I was very indifferent on it, but like what it gives you that you like, you really like. And then you hit those points where you're like, God, this guy's a mopey dick. Like, he's a god. And then it carries on into BVS, and you're just like, all right, dude, I get it. Like, and then like you get Batman in that movie where I'm like, okay, like, he really likes directing Affleck as Batman, because that might as well have been Batman's movie in BVS.
Yeah.
And that Martha scene, though, people will tell me that it's art. I still think it's clumsy as fuck.
Yeah, I still have problems with the world's greatest detective not knowing that Martha was the name of Superman's mom.
Yeah, because he knew who he was, but that warehouse scene makes up for every ill I have of that movie.
Yeah, that is the closest thing to like comic book fight scene Batman I think we've got. Which yes. I will bow down to that. That was freaking amazing. As much as I'm not a huge Batfleck fan, otherwise that was just like, even in the Ultimate cut too, it's a little bit longer and a little bit more bloody.
Yes.
Like, just unbelievable. It's just like straight out of the comic books.
Which again, the Ultimate cut, like, why cut some of that stuff out that made the movie make more sense?
You know?
And that goes into the whole WB problem we're about to get into.
Too many cooks.
Way too many. And it got worse on Justice League.
Oh, yeah.
So the first thing I'll say about this Justice League movie, it's overindulgent, it's bloated, but it's better than Joss Whedon's cut and some of the weird decisions they made in that. 4-hour movie, I get it, but I also saw as I was watching, I was like, they could have split it right here and made it 2 parts. It would have been fine.
Yeah, I disagree, but I can see that. Obviously, John and a couple other people have said something similar, so I get it. But I thought
it shouldn't have been, but I'm just saying if they had to, since, I mean, honestly, it's a better cut of the movie.
I mean, yeah.
It's not hard to say, and some of the choices they made of stuff they cut, like all of Ray Fisher's stuff that you don't understand why he is like he is a cyborg, like, that was just bad.
I think that must have been a power play by Whedon or something, because he was pissed off at Ray Fisher. I don't know, but yeah, it seemed like. And the funny thing is, when I first watched the theatrical cut of Justice League, the 2 things I came away with that I loved were Cyborg was awesome, and I wanted to see more, and The other one, well, I can't really remember what the other one was, but it wasn't that was about it, you know. And like this had way more cyborg stuff in it.
Oh, way more. And I can understand where Ray Fisher was just pissed.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And even the weird scene with the museum scene with Roose Bolton from Game of Thrones, where Wonder Woman's talking to the little girl, and she's like, "Well, I want to be you," and she's like, "You can be anything you want." Why would you cut that line out of the fucking movie? It baffled me, the stuff they chose to take out. Darkseid probably would have gotten people pumped.
Oh, well, I mean, come on, he had to add the Flash falling into to Wonder Woman's breasts, you know, because that's the thing we have to have.
The Russian family, like that was another thing.
The whole Russian family thing. Oh my god.
The only thing I felt that
in this cut is weird. This is kind of
the only thing I felt Snyder Whedon got right was kind of getting Superman where I wanted to be personality wise, where it looked like he was finally having fucking fun.
Yeah, his face looked really weird though.
Okay. Whew. Thought it cut out for a second.
Oh, did you freeze?
I think my internet. I'm using. I forgot to wire in Ethernet. Okay, we're fixed. Whoopsie. So all in all, a better cut. The Aquaman scene was way longer, especially with the first scene at the beginning that they spliced the two parts together in the Whedon cut. What did you think of the Lord of the Rings Return of the King length epilogue?
I didn't have a problem. I guess I didn't have a problem with it, but
it was just super long because I was like, all right, like I was expecting one scene and I was like, holy shit, this just keeps going.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it did keep going, but honestly, I was like super enjoying it. So
I did too, especially Deathstroke, and then it made me sad because Joe Manganiello got really fucked in this whole deal. Like he was going to have a standalone Deathstroke movie. The director of The Raid Redemption was going to be doing it, and it fell apart completely, and it bummed me out a little bit because I kind of wanted to see that movie because The Raid Redemption, for anybody who has not seen that movie, it is one of the greatest action movies I have ever. Oh my god! I think it's on Netflix or Amazon Prime. Like, bro, it is the best action movie I've watched.
Maybe it is now. I looked for it last year and I couldn't find it, but yeah, hopefully it is now. I can check it out.
I will give you the code to my movies anywhere so you could watch it. Like, it is ridiculous. Like, it is so freaking good. It's basically almost like a video game gauntlet where it's just moment after moment of these awesome fights, but it's like you go up levels in this building until you get to the final boss. Just great. Were there any scenes for you that stood out in this cut of the movie that you enjoyed more than most, where you thought was very important that it was added, that added enjoyment to the movie for you? I know you did an Instagram post where you kind of broke down like things that made it better for you.
Honestly, it's been a while since I've seen it, so I can't really remember specific detail parts.
I couldn't dedicate the 4 hours to watching it again.
Nah, I did. I just finished Godzilla vs. Kong about an hour and a half ago, so it took me a while to get that one done. But I know for sure, like a lot of the Superman stuff, I thought in the theatrical cut it was very hasty and very like just kind of thrown together. All of a sudden he's back. Whereas I liked the Snyder cut where it's drawn out and there's stages and they go through, you know, well, maybe we shouldn't do this or da-da-da. And then they kind of build up to finally being like justifying to do it. And then they do it. And that it takes him longer to kind of come back than in the theatrical cut. And I enjoyed that because I thought it needed some space there to breathe.
This had plenty of space to breathe. And
yeah,
I also, they took out that line with Affleck going, oh, broke a rib. Oh, definitely a rib. like scenes with jokes that didn't need jokes.
Oh, that reminds me. I was going to bring this up when you're talking about Aquaman. All of the crappy dude bro surfer Aquaman lines were pretty much gone from the Snyder Cut. And that
Very
was
much so.
Like, yeah, it made for cool trailers, I guess. But come on, it just didn't do Aquaman justice in that first cut.
I'm also down for any time we get more Willem Dafoe.
Yeah. Although there was a little bit more Amber Heard, and I'm not too happy about that, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen there's a whole like fan movement to replace her with Emilia Clarke from Game of Thrones.
I'm for it, man. I am on that train. I will sign that petition. Actually, I think I might have already signed one.
The sad thing is, I thought Amber Heard was okay as Mira in Aquaman movie.
She's all right. I think Emilia Clarke would be way better, though.
I mean, we already know she has chemistry with Jason Momoa, so.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
It's weird, though, because I don't know how DC can remove Zack Snyder's like fingerprints from all over the DC universe right now, because it's all over the place. Like with Wonder Woman, with this Flash movie, with Andy Muschietti directing, like they obviously don't want him involved anymore. Like this basically was AT&T going, okay, well, we need to get HBO Max subscribers. We can put this amount of money into this. The movie's already done.
Well, I mean, yeah, and likely it's probably done. However, I've heard rumblings about maybe him finishing up stuff on HBO, which could be a possibility.
And then treat it as an Elseworlds, basically.
Yeah, and I'd be cool with that. And also, I think pretty much every main character said they would come back and do that for him. So that shows how much they have faith in Zack and how much they.
Because I know Ray Fisher said he would only come back if Zack were involved.
Right. I don't know I think Zack could probably go to bat for Ray if WB still had problems with it. But
Ezra Miller, I thought, was a little less spastic in this version.
Yeah.
They gave him a little bit more depth of his character, like when he was like mortally wounded.
A little bit more tolerable than.
Yeah, I mean, I know Zack said that he wrote him as having ADHD. Basically.
That makes sense. I mean, I didn't hear that or see that, but
I just saw it today on Twitter.
I'm pretty sure when I saw the theatrical cut, I don't know if I made a comment or just thought it, but I think I made a comment to a friend when we saw it. I was like, good Lord, it seems like this kid has ADHD.
Yeah. Also, like, more scenes with his dad, which was kind of nice.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
They did some humanizing moments, and then I now feel 100% that the reshoots with Whedon, they already knew Affleck was leaving, and that's where they were, like, writing it like he's quitting, like he's looking for his successors. So that was something I noticed, especially, like, here's a table at Wayne Manor. Oh, I went bail on that. I shouldn't have done that.
It's okay. Oh, good John. What's going on here?
They both are flawed. They're 100% flawed, John. Like it is exactly like that. It's marginally better, but I can at least give it credit for being better. Would this movie, no matter what they put it out on, succeeded? I think everybody would have their gripes. I mean, reviewers right away went in at this movie saying it's good, but this is like an overindulgent piece of jerk-off material for nerds, which I am a nerd, so.
Yeah, I'm not going to complain about that. I could definitely see that.
I mean, I like seeing Darkseid, not going to lie.
Awesome, yeah.
Wonder Woman cutting off Steppenwolf's head. I like Desaad being in it. Martian Manhunter at the end.
That was so awesome. I've been wanting that since Man of Steel. Although I didn't know that guy was going to be it at first.
Neither did I.
then after BVS and then Snyder leaving, there was all speculation. He was talking about what he was going to do, and I was like, holy crap, he would have been a sweet Martian Manhunter.
Having Ryan Choi, the Atom, in there, I thought was interesting. Like, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I had plans for him too." I was like, "All right, Zach, are you lying, or did you really have all of this planned out for like years and years?"
I think, I think he did.
Hard to say. I definitely know he had his trilogy planned out because he's said everything that's going on. The nightmare scene with Jared Leto's Joker. Again, this is kind of in John's thing with like saying Jared Leto as the Joker was better than this than Suicide Squad. Not saying much because he barely was in Suicide Squad. He looked like a ICP juggalo.
Yeah, Suicide Squad is I don't know. That's very forgetful film, unfortunately. Now they're talking about seeing the David Ayer cut.
Oh, I don't need to see it. I've seen it.
That probably was the David Ayer cut.
And then like Joker offering to give Batman a reach around, like I was like, wait, whoa, like stop.
Although Deathstroke scenes were pretty sweet, I will say that.
Yes, Deathstroke. I would have loved to see that Gareth Emery or Gareth Edwards.
Gareth Edwards, maybe.
It might have been. I'm having trouble remembering who the Raid Redemption director was, but it was going to be basically like an Arkham breakout.
That would be so freaking awesome. There's already an animated version of that.
Yes, it was going to be something like that, but nonstop action. It was Escape from Arkham or something like that, or
I don't know. I got it down here.
Yeah, but they were going to do a movie like that. And Batman was going to be in it. And I don't know if that was going to be how he loses his eye. But Affleck's Batman was going to be involved in it. And I would have loved to have seen that. I would have paid to see it.
Yeah. I think it would have been pretty awesome. Actually, it might have been better for Affleck as far as what my opinion is of him as Batman. Because honestly, he was in a few films. But like he really didn't have much to work with in it. The film,
no, especially Suicide Squad.
Carlito. I was trying to go with a Skull Island theme, get my.
So overall, like, what's your thought? What's your grade on Zack Snyder's Justice League 4-hour cut?
Well, I think I gave the theatrical a 1 star out of 5. I think maybe a 4 out of 10 or something. I can't remember. It wasn't very much. It was pretty bad. Just under Suicide Squad, and I really didn't like Suicide Squad at all. So if that tells you,
I hated Suicide Squad. I broke up with a girl I was dating after that. She took me out to see it. She broke up with me in the car afterward.
Oh, she broke up with you?
Yes. And then she was like lecturing me, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get out and walk home. She's like, yeah, it's like 5 miles. I was like, yeah, I'm good.
I mean, I could see like you breaking up with her if she took you to that for sure. But yeah.
Let's just say mentally I was there. I was just like, I can't believe I went to a movie where El Diablo was my favorite person in it. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I mean, Margot Robbie, if it wasn't for her, that movie just would have been a dumpster fire, but she saved it a little bit.
But I had that thing with the Birds of Prey movie where, like, I thought there was too much Margot Robbie and not enough of the birds.
Yeah. I could see that. I'm not really fond of the Birds of Prey movie either. I mean, granted, I'm not the target audience, so I get that. Like when I went, I might have went to that by myself, but I saw like some little girls there with their mom and stuff, and they're enjoying it, and I'm like, that's awesome. It's the same thing that happened when I went and saw the Ghostbusters reboot, which that movie was horrendous too.
Yeah.
But at the very least, like, I wasn't the target audience, so I get that there was an audience out there that enjoyed it.
I kind of had that with Captain Marvel, or not Captain Marvel, Shazam, where I went and saw it, and I was like, okay, like, I don't think it's for me. I'm not a huge Zachary Levi fan, but there's parts in it that I actually enjoyed.
I really like Shazam. I haven't bought it yet though, which is weird. Although
I'm looking forward to
I
Black
haven't
Adam.
bought many of the DC films, so only three or four, I think. So
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Black Adam. I like The Rock. I'm weirdly, I don't know why, but the Fast and the Furious movies, I don't know how that series ended up going so long. Like they just keep kind of altering and like heightening. They're going to have a 10th and 11th movie coming up. Like it's ridiculous, but
yeah,
The Rock is interesting to me because there's a dude who just keeps reinventing himself, and seeing him as a just jacked up Black Adam, and there's gonna be Hawkman. I'm fascinated with it.
I think he'll be back with us. He's Black Adam. But like, I do think for a while there was a little bit of rock overload. It seems to have slowed down. Maybe that was because of COVID. I don't know.
The world ran out of butter, coconut butter to put on his arms.
But that's pretty good. But, so I'm looking forward to him as Black Adam and for Shazam. So
yeah, and Shazam 2 is going to come out. I forget who they just cast for that. It was someone fairly large. I can't remember. Looking forward to it. My thoughts on Justice League: better than the Whedon cut. Not a whole lot. Like that's not saying much. Again, it's not something you can watch repeatedly because it's 4 fucking hours. You have to unless you're going to piecemeal it out. I might readdress it when it comes out on Blu-ray or 4K. My biggest fucking complaint about this movie: 4-3 aspect ratio. Why? I have a giant screen TV, 4K, and you give me that.
Yeah, a lot of people are really upset about that. I gotta say, I kind of forgot about it after like 5 minutes. It didn't really.
It was just when it pointed it out to you at the very beginning, and I'm like,
like I've got a 75-inch screen, so there's a lot of space not being used. But I found that I just focused on the center and kind of forgot.
Yeah, like after the first 10 to 15 minutes, I forgot about it. But the first 10 minutes, I was like, the fuck is a 4:3? Who the fuck directs in 4:3? Christopher Nolan would never do this. And I was like, shut up, Dan. Shut the fuck up.
But I gotta say, like, who was it I can't remember in the community. It's real big on the like technical aspects, but I gotta say, like, if they had went and made it widescreen, I think it would have been crappier than it was. I really do, because I just, there's something about like zooming in and making it that way just to take off, a little bit, and it just doesn't give the full like director's eye of what he's seeing and what he wants to see, and we would have lost some stuff.
Well, I remember forever
sides, but
John Carpenter's Halloween always showed in 4:3 on TV, and that's how I almost always watched it. All of a sudden, the 16:9 version of it came out. I'm like, wait, Michael drives behind Loomis that entire time over in front of the hardware store? God damn it. Like, how did I not ever see that? How did they never include that in the TV version, but just because the screen, it was truncated from 16:9 to 4:3.
Right, yeah.
Always bugged me.
I noticed that when I've been rewatching the X-Files, because originally, I think the first 4 seasons, I believe, were cropped down to 4:3 or whatever it is for television, and it was all shot in widescreen or all in high definition film from season 1 on. So like when they put it on 4K, I'm just like, wow, this looks amazing.
Yeah.
But anyway, like, did you rate the Snyder cut yet?
I didn't rate it yet. I still think it's deeply flawed, but better.
Yeah.
But I'd probably go about like a 6.5 out of 10. Like, there are parts that I very much enjoyed. And weirdly, I didn't find myself checking my cell phone while I was watching it.
Oh, yeah. I usually turn mine off when I sit down to watch that
Sometimes
stuff.
I get bored and I'll start like just looking up stuff on Google.
Yeah. So that reminds me, you're 6.5. I think I was at 7, I believe, on my Instagram. So we're not going off. And unfortunately, I was looking at my original rating of Suicide Squad. I think I was trying to be a little pretentious and positive about it because I gave that a 7 after everybody was dogging it, and like now I would give it like a 3.5. So
I gave it a 2. I gave it a 2 when it came out. And that movie won a fucking Oscar for makeup.
Oof. Well, I guess
like them having Cara Delevingne like belly dancing as the main villain was just a horrible, horrible misstep.
And the poop cloud at the end. God, I'm so glad they don't do the poop clouds anymore.
Oh God, yeah. So we're positive on this movie, but we're not going to say it's perfect. It's still flawed.
Right.
Does Zack Snyder deserve another chance?
I think Maybe.
So I think what would work is if they broke the movie. If it's not a movie, they broke it down to like Falcon, Winter Soldier, WandaVision, where it's 4 to 5 1-hour episodes. Then he could tell his story. I think that might work.
I'd be down for that. I don't think Justice League as a movie would have been better broken down. I think I would have hated that. But yeah, as far as the next part, the third part of the trilogy, you could break that one down in episodes, and that'd be cool.
Especially if they know in advance that this is what we're doing.
Right.
They can kind of break it down. So unless anybody in chat has anything, which I don't think we have anybody here. John's probably gone by now. Let's
no one here. I think I can't see the chat.
It's just been John. I probably did a bad job promoting this, but
I thought I did a good job promoting it, but apparently none of my Facebook friends are interested. So
I know some people said they'd watch the replay.
Yeah, I did see that. Some people. But
so let's get into the thriller in Manila, Godzilla versus Kong. I hate the fucking humans in this movie. I fucking hate. They brought back Millie Bobby Brown. I don't know why. Godzilla doesn't need returning cast. It just doesn't.
Yeah, that whole and I'll probably catch some hate for this, but the Millie Bobby Brown, her friend, and then that podcast guy.
Yeah.
Those 3 off on the journey on their like secondary storyline reminded me of Rose and Finn and Star Wars.
It's exactly what it reminded me of. 100%. You could have just thrown that out.
We don't need this. Like, it's not necessary. You can have them in the main storyline doing something else. Like, we don't. This is stupid. But
they
whatever.
They just had it that they shot. Just did like a shot of her in class and her reaction to Godzilla is still fucking out there and just been done with it.
Yeah, and the fact that they ended up in was it Tokyo or Hong Kong?
Tokyo.
Tokyo. Like where her dad just happens to show up. One day he's in Pensacola, Florida, and then 5 hours later he's in Tokyo. Or Hong Kong. I'm like, how the hell did he get there? Tokyo, sorry. Tokyo. Like, how the hell did he get there that fast?
I did like the sweet moment with the deaf girl and Kong. Like, that reminded me of that Peter Jackson King Kong movie a little bit, where there's a touching moment, like touching fingers, and then finding out Kong can do sign language.
Yeah, I liked that. Yeah, the deaf girl, she was awesome too.
Yeah, the certain human things they did, but again, that B story of Millie Bobby Brown, just like, this doesn't need to be here unless she was under contract, and they were just like, well, we got to do something with her.
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
What was it, an hour before we actually got to real fighting?
I think maybe that's about right.
First hour, I was checking my phone a lot.
Really? See, the first hour, I don't know if maybe it was because I was eating pizza, but It seemed to go by pretty fast.
I was in like, fuck these humans. I don't give a fuck. Like, especially after King of Monsters, where like, yeah, the humans were in there, they were shitty, but I got everything. Everything. Like, every monster I could have ever wanted was in that damn movie. I loved it. And then this one, like, say an hour into it, we start getting into Kong throwdowns. And once it gets to the Kong Godzilla fight, totally engrossed. Great stuff. And then Mechagodzilla comes out, where I was like, wow, they went there. Shit. Okay. All right. Well, that's what we've got.
There's just like the whole Tokyo thing. It made me go back to when I was a kid and I first saw the original movies at my grandparents.
Man in Suit.
I thought that was great. You know, it just kind of let the stuff go that you're like trying to critique.
That's what I had the thing of. If I were a kid watching this, I'd be just like,
oh yeah.
Yeah. And I kind of had to get that way with Star Wars, where like the prequels, kids love the prequels.
Yeah.
Me, not so much. And like, now I'm just like, okay, well, you know, it's just not for me at this moment in my life. Until it got dark in the last part of episode 3.
Oh, episode 3 is the best one of those, I think.
It introduced the high ground rule. Never knew it before. If only Luke had used the high ground.
No kidding. Yeah, so yeah, especially that second half of Godzilla vs. Kong made me feel like kind of like a kid again. So I like that. And then like it's kind of like Jurassic Park in that way. Like I know when I wore the shirt the first time, somebody said one of my buddies was like, he did his whole like Dennis Nedry thing. He's like, Dotson, we got Dotson here. Because I was wearing the Hawaiian shirt and the hat, and I'm like, come on. But anyway, yeah. So I don't know. It was enjoyable. The second half for sure. The human parts, yes, I'm with you on that. Like Millie Bobby Brown stuff. I don't know.
I love that Kong grabbed an axe, like that stone axe. Like I love that. The throwdown. Yeah. The only thing I thought was really cheesy is, we gotta jump his heart. We're gonna need something that can light Vegas for a week. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I wasn't too big on the whole what did they call it? The underneath the earth.
Hollow Earth.
What's that? Hollow Earth. I wasn't too big on how they were talking about how it's breathable and livable down there, because I'm pretty sure from the science I've taken, it doesn't seem like that's possible, but maybe I'm missing something.
I mean, it's the same thing with Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, where the atomic bomb went off, but he was in the fridge. Yeah. Like,
so I had to let that go, you know, just kind of enjoy it. But yeah, I thought overall, like the fight and stuff was awesome. I was a little disappointed that Kong didn't do as well versus Godzilla as I thought he would, but especially with that axe.
Yeah, it was kind of weird, but I did love a good chunk of the stuff that went on. Like, in particular, I think my favorite thing was after the main fight, after Kong took out Mechagodzilla, where Godzilla got up and Kong's like, oh, fuck, man. God damn it, throws the axe down. It literally, like, has Godzilla giving you know what? Fuck this. I'm done. And just turning around and walking out at the sea. I was like, that is exactly what every last one of us would do. It'd be just like, you know what? I'm done. Like, I came to fucking Tokyo. I fought this gorilla. This goddamn robot whipped my ass. Now this goddamn monkey's back up again with an axe. Like, fuck this. I can't do it. No more. Because like he's just staring at him going, do I really want to do? Nah. So that guy at the bar who like gets his pug and he's like, if I hit this motherfucker, I'm in for it. I could just walk away and be done. You know what? I'm just gonna walk away. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
He's king of the monsters today.
Walk away.
It's basically Rocky going against Thunder Lips. I don't know which one's Hogan at this point.
I will say, Tom Holkenberg on the soundtrack, the score for Godzilla Kong, awesome. And that reminds me, he did
Justice League, and he was fired from Justice League on the Whedon cut and replaced.
Yeah, which originally I was like all excited because I love Danny Elfman and all the classic stuff, but in hindsight, the Hulkenberg score fit Snyder's vision 100 times better.
I'm a big Junkie XL fan from just his EDM music, so like when I saw he was doing it, I was like, okay, awesome. Weirdly, I go back and some of Danny Elfman's scores, I'm not a huge fan of at this point, like the Batman stuff and the Michael Keaton. You know what I remember more about that movie? Prince.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because I remember that Batman video coming out, and I was like, what the fuck is Prince doing? I was like, all right, he's Batman, he's the Joker. All right, like, I'm down for this. This fucking video is like 10 minutes long.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's funny. My brother, he was sitting in his car, I think, the other day, and he texted me a picture that he took of his dash because on the satellite radio came Bat Dance with Prince. So he sent that to me, and he's like, throwback. I'm like, hell yeah. But, yeah, and I think Batman Returns, oddly, is a little bit better for Elfman than the first one.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, pretty hardcore, pretty good. But, like, the second one, for some reason, his music is more prevalent, and they use, like, pop music a lot more sparingly. But I do remember Susie and the Banshees.
Yes.
At that dance when Catwoman, Kyle, and Bruce Wayne are dancing. That was pretty awesome.
I weirdly hate Batman Returns because that to me was like the gateway to Joel Schumacher. Like it started getting ridiculous.
I do think some of the clown stuff was a little the circus stuff at the beginning.
And then we got Max Shrek. Selena, what are you doing alive?
I read something the other day that Christopher Walken wasn't even supposed to be in it.
I threw you out of the building.
I think it was supposed to be like Robert De Niro or something. Could you imagine that? Like Robert De Niro as Max Shrek.
What's even fucked up is you think what movie he did instead. Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
Which, that movie. Ooh. I have not readdressed that one in 20-something years.
I don't think I've seen that in 20 plus years.
I saw it in the theater when it came out, and I just remember walking out going, I don't know what I just watched. But boy, they marketed the hell out of that movie.
Yeah. Well, and it had, what's his face?
Warren Beatty. It had Pacino in there. De Niro. Madonna was in it. God, everybody was in that damn movie.
I don't remember anything about that except for Warren Beatty's suits.
And then Madonna released the whole album focused on it. I'm Breathless.
But yeah, like I think Batman Returns is underappreciated, but we're kind of off track on that. So.
Yeah, we went on the scores. But I will say, if you go back and watch that first Batman literally is in it for 10 minutes. There's more Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne in it, and way more Joker than anything. But I think that was more of like, we got Jack Nicholson in this fucking movie. And Jack Nicholson made the deal of all deals where he got 10% of anything with his likeness and mentioning the name of Jack Napier.
Yeah, he's I still can't pick one or the other because they were both just different Jokers and different performances. So I kind of hold them both like in the same high regard as far as Ledger and
Ledger, in my opinion, was more sinister.
Yeah.
Where Nicholson was more, I'm just going to chew the fucking scenery and be jokey.
Yeah.
and like he
It's pretty sinister and dark though too. But it's different the way Burton filmed it as opposed to the way Nolan did it. Because Nolan, it was a lot more dour, and the whole ambiance of Dark Knight was just darker. But
yeah. The director of this movie, Adam Wingard, interestingly enough, this is a guy who gets a ton of chances constantly. Like he flopped on that Blair Witch remake. Not even remake. I guess it's like a direct sequel that they had called The Woods at one point, just as like a hidden viral marketing. And then he almost had the Halloween 2018 movie to direct, and he dropped out. Which
he's dropped out of a couple things, hasn't he? Or been
very much so. Like I think they were just too high profile for him that he got worried. Which
there's something else that he did that people were like raving about.
Understand, we're gonna do Halloween.
What's that?
Like Halloween, I think it was too much pressure for him, especially since he's a fan of it. Like, it's one of those ones, if you fuck up, you'll never be able to like live down, because it's just that kind of movie. It's like Friday the 13th. You fuck it up, you're gonna hear about it.
Like, yeah, it's like the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street. That was fucking awful.
Weirdly though, I thought Jackie Earle Haley was good.
Yeah, he was all right. I didn't like the makeup they put on him.
The makeup was bad, and I thought like the weird rapey writing.
Yeah.
They dug way too into the child molester stuff, which is weird because I mean that's what he got burned for.
Yeah, I think that's what the original Robert Englund version did so well, of like kind of
subtext.
Yeah, it was more. It wasn't extra. It wasn't outwardly that stuff, whereas they tried to do that with the reboot. And
yeah, it wasn't like every other line where he's like, "Yeah, I want that."
Yeah, no.
Adam Wingard did direct one of my favorite movies, which if people haven't watched, you should take The Guest. It's Dan Stevens playing a soldier that has been experimented on, but you don't learn that till later, and this family has just lost their son in Pakistan.
Wait. That doesn't have who else is in that?
It's Dan Stevens, Micah Monroe, the weird dorky guy from Bones, who was one of the pathologists there. Not a lot of big actors in it, but Micah Monroe, she was in It Follows.
Oh, I loved It Follows. That's one of my favorites.
I have some thoughts on it. But,
I love blasting that soundtrack. You know what? We gotta do horror sometime too, because
we will.
There's a crap ton I haven't seen, which I think you could like push me towards. And
this movie,
a lot I have seen, but most of it's more mainstream.
Dan Stevens shows up at this house saying that he was a friend of a deceased soldier, and he ends up like moving in with his family because they start taking him in as a surrogate son. And the daughter, Micah Monroe, is like, "There's something weird with this dude." Dan Stevens, who's British, is doing a Matthew McConaughey impersonation. And he's doing all these like little things to help this family, and he becomes like the surrogate son taking the place of their son. And the daughter...
was there a remake of this recently? Or is this pretty new? Like, because there's something that sounds similar I watched on Netflix.
Movie. It was on Netflix for a while. It hasn't been on lately. But we find out Dan
where he sleeps with the guy's wife and gets her pregnant. Is that?
No.
God, what the hell was that? It was kind of like a similar story though. It's this like former veteran who has like, he's all screwed up and he kind of befriends his family, and like the wife and the husband are trying to have a kid, but they can't. And then like I think it was The Gift.
Oh yeah. That I did see. Ooh, that was a fucked up movie.
That was fucked up, but like, I don't know. It was too predictable, and that main actor in that, I don't like him.
Dan Stevens in this, he's doing like a McConaughey, like one of the kids, like he's been being bullied. He finally stands up.
Dan Stevens.
He was in Beauty and the Beast.
Is he like
live action?
Blondish hair kind of?
Yeah, he was in Downton Abbey.
Oh, okay, yes. Okay, yeah. I have not seen that. I will have to watch it.
The son who's getting bullied, like the guy David. So him with them to the kid talk to the principal, and the kid goes, "What did you do?" He goes, "I hit him with a yardstick." He goes, "That's awesome." So they're in there with the principal, and he's like, "Did you know he called him a faggot? Sir, that is a hate crime. Are you allowing hate crimes in your school?" And he goes, well, no. He's like, "I think we should get a lawyer." And the principal's starting to sweat. He goes, well, what can I do? He goes, "How much did you give him?" He's like, "Well, I expelled him." He goes, I don't know. Like, can you lower that? He's like, "All right, well, suspension." He goes, "Nah, that's a hate crime. I can't do that." He's like, "Well, detention." He's like, "How many days?" "Like 3, and he'll have to do the prom committee." He goes, "All right." Like it's just a crazy fucking movie, and
all right.
He literally is doing a McConaughey impersonation by a British guy. Like he starts fights with guys, getting them shots of liquid panty removers and stuff, and they got like fuzzy navels, knowing that these jocks he was going to piss off at this bar who were drinking underage.
So is that on Netflix or Prime or anything right now?
It was for a while. I definitely know it's on there to rent for like $3 from Amazon. But like I recommend it highly. It's good, but like it's one of those you're watching it knowing you're watching like something nonsensical.
Right.
But this was like Wingard's first movie.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. That's the one I've heard about that like everybody was raving about after he did it. And I haven't seen it yet.
It has like a John Carpenter like synth score to it, like this. So it's one of those things with movies where I feel if you don't hear the score, sometimes the movie's really good. But there's other times where the score just accentuates what's going on, which makes it even better. And this is one of those ones where the score accentuates what's going on and makes it better.
Yeah, I think Perry Nemiroff, she's brought that up a few times regarding Adam Wingard. So
yeah, I love Perry Nemiroff.
I like it, and as far as like movie taste goes and stuff, so far there's only been one movie that she's like, because I'm on her Patreon. I've been on there for a long time, and like I've asked her for recommendations and stuff. I tell her what I like or whatever, and there's only been one film in the last 6 years or so since I've been following her that she recommended me that I was like, I didn't like that one. So
curious which one.
Honestly, I can't even remember at this point. I'll have to go back and look.
That's very memorable.
But it wasn't like it was awful, so that I could remember it and be like, "Oh God, that was Suicide Squad like or nothing." But it wasn't. It was just kind of like meh. But
so very much back to the movie. I think this is the end of the MonsterVerse.
What?
It sounded like WB was done with it.
No,
like they were calling it quits at this.
I thought they were just gonna start.
I don't know. I don't know what more they could do.
Maybe they
did set up Ghidorah coming back, or Ghidorah, but at the end of King of Monsters. Maybe they're going to let it just sit for a while and kind of give it some away time before coming back. I feel like I'm at a 6.5, 7 on this.
What did I give it on my Letterboxd? I think it was the highest out of all the kaiju movies. I think I gave it a 4-star. So that's an 8, or at least a 7.5, probably.
That's
well, I want to go back and watch Kong Skull Island because I haven't seen that in a while, and
Hello, Ruben.
I know there was a lot of oh hey Ruben, what's up? I know there was a lot of crappy like Vietnam era scenes that I didn't really care for in Skull Island, but like overall, I thought that one I enjoyed a lot in the theater.
Skull Island was a great theater experience. I remember watching it when it was on 4K. I got the disc and I put it in, and I remember going, "Oh God, everything that's digital is popping out to me more than it should." Like it wasn't blending well.
That's what I was afraid of, and the same thing with this. Like, oh, that reminds me. I think I'm done watching streaming movies because, well, at least for the ones that have like good sound or like special, hardcore special effects and stuff, because the audio quality is just garbage on streaming compared to like a disc or something.
My friend actually went to see this one, Godzilla Kong. He saw it on streaming and he was like, I need to go see it in the theater. So we went to go see an IMAX where he's at in Connecticut.
Yeah.
And he said like the experience was like 100% different.
I think the IMAX has spoiled me that we have out in Waukee. So it's the largest IMAX in the US, and the sound system is just unbelievable. And that's where I saw Tenet. Oh my God.
About Tenet being a theater experience and not a home experience because the distractions at home just
distractions, but let alone they did it in 5.1 on the release, and it's like, are you kidding me? Like a Blu-ray or 4K 5.1, you couldn't at least do like Dolby something, I mean, I don't know, but
I remember putting the set. I was like setting it to 7.1. I was like, why is it only coming out of 5? What the fuck's going on?
Just, I don't know. I think maybe they decided to do that so you could hear the dialogue better because there's so much bitching about.
It is a dialogue-heavy movie,
but I don't know. There's nothing like that IMAX experience. I really hope. I don't know if it's still out in IMAX, but I really hope they re-release it in IMAX because I would definitely go see it.
What, Tenet?
Yeah,
Tenet. I don't think they're gonna re-release it. Weirdly, if a movie theater decided to do it, a chain, if they did like a Christopher Nolan marathon in IMAX, I would 100% fucking go. I'd spend the day watching everything, even if it was just The Prestige, Inception, and Tenet.
I would see that in IMAX. I thought Dunkirk in IMAX. Oh my God.
I don't think The Prestige was out in IMAX when it came out, but Dunkirk definitely was in IMAX when I saw it.
Dunkirk and IMAX. Actually, though, I think Interstellar, if anything, the space scenes were just I can't even describe it in IMAX.
Because I remember the sound design on Dunkirk really stood out to me.
Yeah, for sure. And even on the 4K and the Blu-ray, the sound on there is really good too. So I don't know what they did with Tenet, but maybe they just pushed it out quick to.
That could be. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we got a special edition at some point. Because I still feel like there's something left out of that movie that we didn't see.
Right.
Which apparently WB are being pains in the ass about how long your movie can be.
Yeah, they're.
But I do know IMAX movies can only fit 3 hours in the cartridge.
Yeah.
So I get that, but even if they did like an animatrix thing and had an animated like epilogue of what happens with them, like that whole relationship I want to see more of between Rob Pattinson and the protagonist.
Yeah, and in theory, I mean, you could make a trilogy out of that.
Because, very much so.
Because of the closed time loop, but I don't know. I think everybody's heard enough of me talking about Tenet.
Yeah. I know John was like, all right, how are you going to figure Tenet into this?
Yeah, if John was still here, he would be like, oh gosh, he's talking about Tenet again.
So next month we will be back and we'll be talking about Mortal Kombat. That premieres the 23rd. And let's do something a little different and each bring a movie to discuss.
Like any movie?
Yeah. Just one we think people should watch that maybe they've slept on. And
I like that idea.
Yeah, because that way we can each present our case of why someone should watch that, kind of like me bringing the guest.
Nice. Yeah, I was actually, it's funny, before we got on and I was dealing with my nosebleed, I was actually thinking about like future stuff, and I'm like, it'd be nice if we could talk about stuff that is a little underappreciated, underknown.
Very much so.
As opposed to, because honestly, everybody's going to be talking about Godzilla, Kong, and Justice League. I'm sure it's been beaten to death. But as far as like me and you talking, I'm cool with that. But
yeah, I figure we'll talk about one big movie that's out, and then we'll kind of present our cases for some movies that we think people should watch. Also, like, Amazon's been dropping the price on Blu-rays like crazy. I just picked up The Stranger's Prey at Night today for $5.
Dang.
And Silver Bullet by Stephen King was $19.
I was going to cancel my Amazon membership and stop shopping on there, but maybe I will take another look. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm not.
Are you for? Oh, I think okay. You're there.
No, I don't know what's going on. It's showing that we're on Wi-Fi, and I'm not on Wi-Fi.
I'm on Wi-Fi.
Okay, maybe that's. I don't know. It's kind of being weird.
Well, I'll just leave it. I'm not gonna get off of it and then screw everything up.
Yeah. I can't find my network.
Oddly enough, my Wi-Fi connection here is better than my cellular connection. So.
Okay, I'm on Ethernet. I don't know what. Oh,
It's
whatever.
probably on mine.
Anyway, we're at the hour mark.
Is that all we're doing?
Huh?
Is that all we're doing as an hour? Or
well, we said if we went a little bit longer, we would, but I know we were shooting for an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know you need to go to bed and get ready and everything because you got an early day. I work overnight, so
if we're only going to stick to like an hour and a half, we could do 8 o'clock in the future if you want. I just thought we were doing 2 hours. So
I said an hour and a half. I wanted to shoot for because 2 hours just seemed like unless we were doing like a marathon of something.
Yeah, I mean that's too like John and Bearded. That's kind of.
They never invited me on their show, so.
Yeah, they didn't invite. Actually, I think he did invite me on one weekend, but I had to cancel. So that was probably
Varangian Vigilante and Stay Puft. That like Varangian can go on about stuff, but he is an encyclopedia of action movies, especially Schwarzenegger. Yes. So like, I bow to him. He was on when we did Reanimator.
Nice.
And he is an encyclopedia.
Yeah, I'm not really too smart on the kaiju stuff or even Zack Snyder stuff. So I apologize for not being an expert on that, but
I wasn't too prepared. Like I've watched all the movies, but like I didn't take notes because I just didn't prepare like that. I just wanted to work off kind of memory and just things that we like, things that we didn't like.
Yeah, just to get like a feel for how we're gonna play it out. So
yeah, I kind of like it more like a conversation and not getting too analytical. But when we know exactly what we're doing and kind of as we work out the show, it might change how we're doing stuff. But I'm sure Mortal Kombat, we're gonna have a lot to talk about the action just from what I saw from the Red Band trailer.
I'm pretty excited for that. I'm pretty excited.
We'll probably end up having more to talk about when we bring our individual movies to make a case for.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I already thought of mine, so
I have one picked out that I'm not sure how to present it as a case yet, but I think I do, because I've already in the past I brought up like people who hated Last Jedi watch Rian Johnson's Brick.
ooh, I've not seen that, and I didn't. Well, I'll correct my statement. I hated Last Jedi after I first saw it the first time, but I didn't hate it after I watched it again. But I didn't very love it either.
I
But
just remember after watching Rise of Skywalker, I was like, you know what? Rian Johnson took some chances.
Yeah, I can't say anything about that because I actually really loved Rise of Skywalker.
I didn't hate it. I just thought it was very safe.
Yeah, it was pretty safe. But
the bearded one is here.
Fair amount of fan service in there. But oh, hey, Bearded's here.
Yeah,
this is excellent.
It is a great movie. If you liked like Chinatown, it's like that, but in high school atmosphere. It's like a pulp gumshoe movie, but Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in it playing a high school kid.
Is Chinatown the one with Jack Nicholson?
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but it's on my watch list. There's a lot of the older stuff, the classic stuff I haven't seen yet.
Great movie. One summer I went and got the whole AFI Top 100 movies, and I rented and found them all and watched all of them.
Nice.
It was way too much to do. And there were some that I still hated after the fact. But it gave me a little bit more appreciation of film, and I finally forced me to go watch Citizen Kane.
I still haven't seen that either. Every time I went to watch it, I'll make a comment to my dad, and he'll be like, you don't need to watch that.
You have to go back and remember what filmmaking was like back then, and then you get appreciation of what was being done. And then there's a movie called Touch of Evil, I think it was, that was done by Orson Welles, that John Carpenter aped the beginning to do the beginning of Halloween, the whole one-shot take.
Nice.
And he freely admits that he stole from it.
Hey, what's up, Superpower Review? Kevin. Still waiting on my... Oh, Gore Vidal has graced us with his presence.
Like Ferengi Vigilante said, cocaine needs to come back to Hollywood. That's what made it great.
Oh, yeah.
There are some great older movies to find, and I will also open up if anybody has any recommendations of movies that you think that we should talk about. Hit us up in our DMs and kind of make some recommendations. I'm always up to watch it. And Charlton Heston, no one overacts the shit out of a scene like Charlton Heston. Soylent Green is people.
Yeah,
Heston blew it up. You blow it all up, you damn dirty apes.
Quite the overactor.
God. He is the original like scenery chewer. Of course, everybody shows up when we're getting ready to end.
That's why we just got to keep BS and keep going. Let's just talk about some other stuff for a little 20 more minutes. 20 more minutes. Like an ounce and a half in here. Let's go.
All right. What is a movie that you've watched that recently that you think people might have slept on or needs to see?
Recently, not much. I have not been hitting the movies like I want to. I've been mostly just been slamming Justified down before I go to bed every night.
I love that show.
It's just, God, honestly, I forgot how great it was. I only watched it once all the way through. I think I just started watching it after it finally came to Netflix, after it ended. So, and that was like 2016, 2017 or something.
The first two seasons I thought were like spectacular, and then it kind of dwindled a little bit, came back up again.
Yeah, the first two are just unbelievable. It kind of gets a little formulaic after that, and then I think right now I'm into season 4. It's starting to go back up again, and I think season 5 and season 6 are about the same. But anyway,
I'm
as
watching
far as
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Oh, are you caught up on that?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So what did you think of that last episode?
I thought it was good. The end of episode 4, I thought was just great. Seeing John Walker go like over the top, and it's so weird how much Wyatt Russell looks like a weird amalgam of Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. He's got Kurt Russell's chin, but that golden blonde hair of Goldie Hawn.
They're not related, are they?
Yeah, that's their kid.
No.
Yeah, that's their son.
Way.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, if you really look at them, it's a weird amalgam of both of them.
Well, now I'm not going to be able to unsee that.
Yeah,
and he's got Kurt's eyes, I think, pretty much.
He was an overlord as the guy who went crazy at the end.
Wow.
He was the commanding officer.
Oh, speaking of John Walker and having like a crossover with Scotch, I saw this post on, I think it was Instagram. It's like a meme, and it showed John Walker with the shield up in the air before he hits that guy, and it said, and then it had a bottle of Johnny Walker Red at the bottom, and at the top it said, so John Walker is the first worst John Walker, and Johnny Walker Red is now the second. Because that's like the worst Scotch I've ever had in my life. Oh my god! But apparently it's like a good mixer, so I don't know. But I drank it neat, and I just.
What did you think of the cameo in this last episode?
Cameo.
Yeah. Elaine from Seinfeld.
Oh yeah. That was awesome.
The person I was never expected to be in a Marvel show or movie.
Yeah, no kidding. And didn't she have like cancer or something for a while there? So she's coming back with a freaking.
Might have. I just remember looking, going, "Wait, is that Julia Louis-Dreyfus?"
Yeah.
Oh, shit, yeah, it is.
I did a double take too on that, and I was like, "But you know what? For that character, she's pretty awesome."
Yeah, like I was just like, "Oh wow, it makes sense," because like Veep, she's kind of that same character. I'm like, "All right, awesome, like cool. She's gonna be part of this universe."
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I would have never expected her to be in the MCU ever. That's pretty awesome.
I've been buying a lot of Shout Factory Blu-rays since they've been on sale, and I picked up John Carpenter's In the Mouth of Madness. Nice. If people haven't seen that movie, go see it. It's like this writer Sutter Kane. It focuses on, and kind of how like his stuff's coming true.
Wait a minute, I may have seen that one.
That's good. And I bought Willow, the 30th anniversary Blu-ray, which I hadn't watched that movie in a long time.
I don't think I've seen that. You know what? You need to make a list of like quintessential horror films I need to watch, and then I'll like check off which ones I have seen, and then I'll put the ones I haven't on my watch list and like get. I was just talking to JoJo.
It was an old school fantasy movie. That was the one by George Lucas with Val Kilmer in it, and Warwick Davis.
Yeah, I don't know what it is lately, but especially now after this chat, I was telling JoJo the other day, like I've just had the urge to start watching some horror films. And she said something like, "That's because you're feeling that it's like half of Halloween or something, like half of the year is Halloween." I'm like, that makes sense.
It's always Halloween, at least for me.
She loves her horror stuff. I need to have her make those too.
I'm a huge horror fan.
You know what? If we do horror episode, we need to get her on here.
Oh, no problem. Yeah.
Be a guest.
Oh, Irreversible! I will never fucking watch again. Never, ever, fucking ever. Oof. No.
Irreversible was a hard watch. It was
Very
really good.
much so. There's a movie called Martyrs, the original version. I watched. I enjoyed. I'll never fucking watch it again. Never ever, because I can't make it through that ending again. They're skinning somebody alive.
Irreversible. Yeah, I'll probably never watch it again. But like, I'm in love with Monica Bellucci, so it was extremely hard for me to get through that film.
Monica Bellucci was in one of my favorite bad movies. She was in that one with Clive Owen and
Shoot 'em up.
yes.
That movie is awesome. That movie is great.
And I remember
That's
my friend
the thing.
going, "It's Elmer
think
Fudd and Death and Bugs Bunny." I was like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, Paul Giamatti's Elmer Fudd and Clive
Basically.
Owen's Bugs Bunny." I was like, "What?"
I'm like, Varangian Vigilante probably loves that film. But
Oh,
like,
probably.
there's a few scenes in that where like Clive Owen is just
The
awesome.
delivery scene where he's shooting the umbilical cord.
Oh, God, yeah.
Paul Giamatti's shooting the sign behind Clive Owen writing "fuck you." Like, okay, that's on our list.
I like it when he's driving and he gets behind that guy in the Mercedes and he like doesn't use his signal, and then he gets all pissed off. He's like, "You lift your finger 1 fucking inch. You can't, these guys can't even have fucking do that." And then he runs him off the road. Just hilarious.
That's on our list of what we're gonna do eventually.
But Clive Owen, I really wanted him to be Bond for a while, and I'm pretty sure it was after.
He should have been.
But now I think he's too old, probably.
Honestly, Henry Cavill, I think, would be good for a next Bond, especially after Mission Impossible.
Gore is just a wealth of film knowledge.
Oh, I know. There is. I did not see this one, Melina.
I need to buy that. I haven't seen it. I've seen like highlights in the trailer and parts of it, and then I've heard people talk about it. Apparently, it's just a classic, like coming of age, like foreign film. So, and it's Monica Bellucci, so I gotta see it.
There was a movie by Alexander Aja called Antichrist, which, from what I understand, had like people throwing up in the movie theaters, and like other horror directors say that they will never watch it again. And part of me wants to watch it. Another part of me goes, you know what? Like, maybe I need to avoid this movie.
Yeah, just don't eat anything beforehand, or
maybe like I want to see it. At the same point, like I don't want to see it. When other horror directors are like, oh no, I can't watch that movie. Like that's usually like a red flag for me.
Which one was that?
Antichrist. It's like ANTI.Christ. But Eli Roth, his Cabin Fever movie, had one of the scenes where the Foley artist grossed me out more than the scene did. It was the girl was in the bathtub shaving her leg and the skin was coming off.
Oh.
That scene like gets me. Like sometimes Foley artists do such great jobs in the movie, and that was one of them where like the sound design was like, oh, and then the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake where Leatherface comes out and clunks the guy with the meat tenderizer hammer.
I have not seen the remake.
You hear this hollow thud. It was like,
yeah, some of those guys are just so good at what they do. Like, but anyway, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I just saw the original like just a couple years ago for the first time, and I loved it. The original was awesome.
Oh, Lars von Trier, Antichrist.
Oh,
2 million.
Yeah, some odd films, I think.
I might have to check out Melina.
Yeah, I really want to check out Melina. But for me, like, we're getting like nasty here, but there's a Hostel film. I don't know if it was like 4 or 5 or 3 or whatever.
They made that many?
I thought they'd made at least 4.
I stopped at 2.
I think 3. I'm pretty sure there was a third one. I think that was the last one I saw, and that may be the one that I have. So they basically like cut off and rip out this guy's junk. And I don't know if that must have been the third one if you haven't seen it, because it's like graphic too. It looks so real, and it like the gut wrenching feeling I had from seeing it was just like, whoa, man, I can't watch that again. I will not watch that again.
Amelie's the comfort food. Oh God, there was.
But usually, like horror and stuff, like I don't know if I'm just a sick bastard or what, but most of it doesn't bother me. But that stuff,
there was the movie Audition. I want to say it's a Korean horror movie.
I saw that.
That movie had some scenes in it where like she's putting the needle in the eye, where I was like, all right, like I'm done. There is a great movie called I Saw the Devil about this cop whose sister got raped by this guy. So the guy gets put in jail, and the cop, when he's unconscious, puts a chip in his tooth so he knows where he is once he gets out. So he gets out. Every time this guy shows up to do something, this cop shows up, beats the fuck out of him. So finally the guy figures out there's a way he's being tracked and rips his teeth out. So then the cop doesn't know where he's at. So then the tables kind of turn. It's an interesting movie, but it is violent as all hell.
He should have put it in his foot. Nobody's ever going to check their foot.
Fascinating movie. Well, no one expects you to rip your own teeth out too, but
yeah,
real interesting movie. That one is on one of the, I think it's on Tubi, tubi.com. It's one of the free streaming sites. I think it's on that. It was a while back that it was on there, and then that Korean movie, The Host.
So Audition was like, so there was an American remake of that movie, I think, called something else. Because I went back and watched Audition because the American movie that I had seen was based off of it. I can't remember. No, maybe I'm thinking of Ringu and The Ring.
Yeah, Audition was the one where the guy thinks by having this fake audition, he'll find a new wife.
Yeah.
And he ends up with this crazy girl that captures him and then tortures him.
Audition, I think it was, do you remember a guy for Collider video called John Schnepp?
Yes.
Yeah, he was one of my favorite.
Yeah, I've got his documentary, The Death of Superman Lives. What happened? Yeah. I always watch Sweaty Heroes and everything for him, Collider Heroes.
Yeah. And he always like interacted, which was awesome. And he would talk to me, and he would recommend me stuff, and I'd see it, and like every single thing that guy recommended me after we talked for a while and I said taste and stuff, I loved it. And I think he might have recommended Audition to me based off of something, but he definitely recommended Suspiria, and holy crap, if I wasn't blown away by Suspiria the first time I saw it.
I just bought another Giallo movie, Pieces. That's another like horror movie. I bought it. I haven't watched it yet, but everybody kept recommending it to me on one of the horror groups.
On Instagram? Did you post that on Instagram or no?
No, I didn't. I haven't got. I just bought it. I haven't gotten it yet.
I think someone else bought it and I liked it on Instagram, but I wish I could see the chat. I want to see what Gore's saying.
Oh, he's just recommending stuff. Increases your sex drive. It makes you hungry for human flesh.
So it's like the COVID vaccine.
Shut up. I get that next shot next week.
I got my second shot last Saturday. It took me from Sunday noon until Monday at around 10:30, 11. I was just out. Like I slept
Pfizer and Moderna.
And I had like chills and freaking weakness in my bones, it felt like, and stuff. But that was pretty much the end of it. And I took some Tylenol after a while. So
did you get the Pfizer or Moderna?
The Moderna.
Okay, I'm getting the Pfizer second one next Sunday. I'm scheduled to work Monday.
It seems like most people on the Pfizer don't have as serious a side effects. So
some people I know got it real bad, but I guess it just depends on the person.
Yeah.
We are almost.
If already had COVID. Apparently, the first shot's worse than the second.
Yes, I heard that too. Someone I work with had COVID, and like her and her husband were knocked out for like 3 days. We are almost at the hour and a half mark, so I'm going to wrap this up. You can find me on Instagram at comic_chop_news. You can find Carlito at Carlito Classico. It is in the description below. You can follow him on Instagram. You can follow me, like it, and subscribe. Look for updates on Instagram for when our next show will be. We just have to work out. It'll be next month, so the scheduling, we'll just have to figure out when we're both have the time to do it. And every Thursday, you can find me on this channel doing Tag Team Thursday for my part at 7:15 p.m. Starting at 6:30 with Rod the Rican, just the Rican in his comics. And you can just follow the train from there. And every month we do Ink Panels Graphic Novel Book Club with Comic Books Will Break Your Heart and Gambits Inc. And I think that's all I have for right now. Thank you all for watching, whether it was live or after the fact. Carlito, you have anything you want to add?
Nope. Just be safe out there and enjoy life.
And thank you to the chat, especially Gore, for all your additions and info. You're always a wealth of knowledge. So take care, everybody, and we will see you next month. Bye.